Welcome back to Power to Change podcast, where we are currently on a 13 episode journey of Sometimes You Win and Sometimes You Learn. This podcast is a production of Warriors Heart USA and Power to Change LLC, where we believe that a man's soul is worth fighting for. We are offering this series as a resource for you, the listener, as a means to develop a plan to help find a path that will lead to a life with intentional living. Now, we've been moving right along here, learning about the 11 keys of the process of drawing wisdom from our experiences. Now, up to last week, I was recapping the previous week's topics, but I changed course so we can jump straight into the current topic. And that's what we're going to do today. The topic, teachability, the pathway of learning. So let me open with a simple question. What does it mean to be teachable? Well, teachability is possessing the intentional attitude and behavior to keep learning and growing throughout life. I generally make a statement or an observation about people who are unteachable. I often say they're too stupid to realize they're stupid. I know that's harsh, but frankly, there are people out there that don't know you can't teach them. Now, futurist author John Naisbitt once said, "There's not one subject or set of subjects that will serve you for the foreseeable future, let alone for the rest of your life." Realistically, if you want to be successful tomorrow, you've got to be teachable today. It is said that what got you to where you're at today won't keep you there if you're not teachable. It will help you if you have an excellent mind for learning. In addition, you need an excellent heart for learning. That is what a teachable spirit gives you. Now, Mark Murphy, who's the CEO of Leadership IQ, did a study, actually a 3-year study on new hires, new corporate hires. And what he learned was that 46% of the new hires got fired. They didn't get fired because they didn't have the technical aptitudes or they lacked skills. 90% of them were fired because of their attitude. They were unteachable. Now, I experienced this as a leader in the United States Army and as a police manager. In fact, every year I struggled when it came time to do the annual performance analysis. Now, there are great guys in the military, guys and gals in the military. There are great guys and gals in law enforcement. Outstanding. But there's a core in there that think that they can skate by without training. This core, small core of people, are what I call too stupid to know they're stupid. They didn't want to learn because they didn't think they needed to learn. They were unteachable and their attitudes were lousy. Now, can you imagine a doctor, for example, who relied solely on his medical school training and never wanted to learn again? The same applies for all professionals. Now, over my career, I would run into people who were retiring from law enforcement, who only had the initial academy training under their belt. They felt that they were beyond learning and didn't need any more. Frankly, that's why we have the problems we have in the ranks today. Those people, I often would say, they had 30 years on the job with only 1 year of training. Frankly, they were worthless in our profession. Now, attitude is a choice. So is teachability. We choose whether we are open to learning new ideas, new experiences. We choose whether we're open to others' ideas or their feedback. and we choose to have a willingness to change. We choose the pathway to a better future by developing a teachable spirit, or we can sabotage the future by pretending we know it all to move forward in life. Let me share with you what I believe are the traits of a teachable person. A teachable person has an attitude conducive to learning. The attitude we carry sets the tone and direction for everything we do. Hal Urban, who's the author of Life's Greatest Lessons, says that golfers know the success of their game is determined on how they approach the ball. Pilots that know that the most critical part of landing is determined by making the right approach. A lawyer knows that how they approach a jury will determine the outcome in each case. Approaching means getting ready, taking the preliminary steps towards some type of achievement. The right approach to anything sets the stage for creating the results we hope for. Our attitudes are the way we approach life, and how we approach life will determine if we achieve failure or success. Harvard did a study, actually Harvard and many other universities did a study that determined that attitude was the characteristic of a person's success. In fact, up to 85% of success in life is due to attitude, while 15% is due to our ability. Our approach to life cannot be a negative one. When you approach each day as an opportunity, you have a teachable spirit. Being teachable depends on two things: capacity and attitude. Now, another trait of a teachable person, they possess a beginner's mindset. How would you describe a beginner's mindset? It's an open mind. An open mind is the beginning of self-discovery and growth. We can't learn anything until we can admit we don't know everything. Three things that we should keep in mind every day is that everyone has something to teach. Every day I have something to learn, and every time I learn something, I benefit. Now, the third trait of a teachable person is that they take a long, hard look in the mirror. Novelist James Thom once remarked, probably the most honest, self-made man ever was heard saying, "I got to the top the hard way, fighting my own laziness and ignorance every step of the way to the top." How do you evaluate yourself? Do you believe that there's value in self-evaluation? Being teachable requires us to be honest with ourselves and evaluate ourselves continuously. Now, when you face a loss or experience a failure, the first question you have to ask is, am I the cause of it? Because if the answer is yes, you need to be ready to make some changes before moving forward. When people refuse to look in the mirror and instead look to blame others, they will keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. And I can tell you from personal experience, that is true. In fact, my prayer often is, Lord, deliver me from the man who never makes mistakes and from the man who makes the same mistakes twice. The fourth character, or the fourth trait that I believe a teachable person has, is they encourage others to speak in their lives. What do you have in your life that can be spoken to? Let me share a quick story with you. One day, a fox, a wolf, a bear went hunting together. After each of them caught a deer, they discussed how they should divide the spoils of the hunt. So the bear approached the wolf and asked the wolf, "How do you think this should be done?" The wolf immediately said, "I think we should all keep our own deer." Suddenly, the bear attacked the wolf and killed him. Then the bear turned to the fox and asked what he thought about how to divide the spoils. The fox responded that he thought the bear should get them all. The bear chuckled and said, "Well, how did you get so smart?" Where did you get your wisdom from? And the fox responded, from the wolf. Unfortunately, many of us are like that bear today, especially in today's climate. We don't like it when someone speaks the truth into our lives. We don't like it when someone has the courage to speak up. When they do, we attack them. We are operating in our own little fiefdoms or echo chambers. We really need to react differently, because teachable people need to surround themselves with those who know us well, and who lovingly and yet honestly will speak into our lives. This can be a challenge because, one, you must be willing to develop a strong enough relationship with people that you can credibly ask them to speak into your life. And two, they must be courageous and honest to speak into your life freely. You must be willing to accept their feedback and criticism without defending yourself. Otherwise, you'll only receive the feedback once. Everyone needs someone who is willing to speak into your life, because wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you would have preferred to talk. If you have not allowed people to speak into your life, can you explain why? Who do you need to surround yourself with that knows you well and lovingly and honestly will speak into your life? Now, the fifth trait of teachable people, they learn something new every day. The secrets to anyone's success can be found in their daily agenda. People grow and improve, not by huge leaps and bounds, but by the small incremental changes they make. We can't be thinking about how can we make a big difference and ignore the small daily differences we make. We can make a big difference by the accumulation of small steps that we make. Progress comes day by day and inch by inch. Teachable people leverage the truth by learning something new every day. A single day is enough to make us a little larger or a little smaller. Several single days strung together will make us a lot larger or a lot smaller. If we do that every day, day upon day, there is a great power to change. Now, let me share this with you. I am your greatest helper or heaviest burden. I will push you onward or drag you down to failure. I am completely at your command. Half the things you do, you might just as well turn over to me, and I'll be able to do them quickly and correctly. I'm easily managed. You must merely be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want something done, and after a few lessons, I will do it automatically. I am the servant of all great men, and alas, of all failures as well. Those who are failures, I have made failures. Those who are great, I have made great. I'm not a machine, though I work with all the precision of a machine, plus the intelligence of man. You may run me for profit or run me for the ruin. It makes no difference to me. Take me, train me, be firm with me, and I'll place the world at your feet. Be easy with me, and I'll destroy you. Who am I? I'm a habit. The habits you practice every day will make you or break you. If you want to become a teachable person who learns from losses, then make learning your daily habit. It may not change your life in a day, but it will change your days of your life. Now, let me offer you 3 options and daily practices to become more of a teachable person. Number 1 is preparation. Every day will pose a challenge, but if you aren't prepared for them, you're not prepared for them. John Wooden, who is a former famous basketball coach, once said, when opportunity comes, it's just too late to prepare. I have a similar saying. It's a little late to learn how to swim when you jump in the pool's deep end. Every day, ask yourself these three questions. Where are the potential learning moments for today? Who will I meet? What can I ask them? What will I experience? What might I be able to learn from it? The second thing is contemplation. Time alone is essential to learning. Contemplation allows people to observe and reflect on the occurrences in their lives and derive meaning from them. Stopping and thinking allows us to gain perspective on both the successes and failures of our day so that we can find the lessons within them. It also enables us to plan how we can improve the future. It's important to remember that there's much to learn from the negative experiences. In fact, in science, mistakes always precede discoveries. And three, finally, application. The actual value of learning is when we apply what we learn to our life. Unfortunately, there's some people that will never learn that because they will do one of three things. They'll resolve never to make any more mistakes, which we know is impossible. They will allow their mistakes to turn them into cowards, which we know is foolish. Or they'll make up their mind. They make the choice to learn from their failures and apply the lessons to their lives, which is profitable. Let me challenge you this week to start an inner circle and hold an informal get-together so you can establish what you expect from them and what they should expect from you. Who do you have in your inner circle? Who do you look for influence? Your desire to keep learning is a great motivator to keep living. Teachability will keep you young and alive and full of hope. That is the power of remaining teachable. Thank you for joining us this week. I'll see you next week for another episode of Power to Change. This is Power to Change, and I am Bob Bauer, your host.